We're now talking to Iowa State NFL draft prospect tight end, Trae Kolar. What's going on, Charlie?
Guys, sorry I was late. Missed up the Central Eastern time.
Oh, it's all right, man. I mean, hey, listen, I got Speedy as a producer. He always messes up. He screws up, and I try to get over it, you know?
No, he was. His directions were clear. My dumb ass just can't read Central and Eastern time.
I'm just messing around. I just like throwing him under the bus. Anyways, Charlie, what is it like getting ready, setting up, and just knowing that you have a chance to be drafted to the NFL this year?
Yeah, obviously it's super cool, huge blessing. It's weird. I don't really thought that much about the draft until I got past pro day. Because first up you finish the season, then you're getting ready for the Senior Bowl, then the combine, the pro day. You kind of always focus on the thing ahead of you, and then you finish up the pro day. You're like, oh shit, now we're finally here. We're here to the draft. So yeah, I mean it's super exciting. I'm just grateful for if I get drafted where I land up at. I'm just excited to go to work.
So what were those experiences like, both at your combine, at your pro day, being showing yourself out for the scouts?
Yeah, they were good. It's weird. It's like nothing I've ever done before. It's like a day-long interview every day. Meetings to practice to working out to whatever it is. So it was fun. I get to know a lot of the other guys and tight ends in my class and get to become close with those guys. And also, a lot of the coaches were so great. We meet a lot of tight end coaches at the combine. It was awesome. Been a great experience. No complaints.
As everybody knows, we are talking to Iowa State NFL draft pick and tight end Trae Kolar. I almost said Kolar. I don't want to mess up your name and make myself look like a fool. But I'm very bad with names, and I'm getting used to it. But anyways. So we look at this year's draft class with tight ends, and everybody keeps talking about this kid McBride. I understand that he's a guy that everybody keeps saying could be the end of a first round, maybe early second round pick. Now, a lot of people look at the board and look at the draft board and say that you could be a third, maybe an early fourth round draft pick. What is the difference between your ability and your speed and your size to a McBride, where everybody thinks is a top, the top pick in this year's draft as a tight end?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to compare myself to other players that much. I actually got to know Trae pretty well. He's a great dude, and I wish nothing but the best for him. I think everyone offers their own unique skill set. I think I'm obviously a little bigger, but no, I mean, it's just the team has to decide what they want, and I try not to get into it too much because then I have no control over it, and I just get upset about things I can't control. So no, I really don't think about it. I think he's a great player, and he'll do great wherever he ends up.
I love this kid. You see, he doesn't want to throw anybody under the bus. Usually, some guys, they have the cockiness to say, you know what, I think I'm just as good as him, but you know what? Let somebody draft me in the third or fourth round. I'll become the best tight end in this draft class. So I like it. I like it. I like your personality, so I'll take that.
So is there any guys that either were your teammates or guys maybe at your position that you got to interact with at combine experiences that were pretty cool guys on and off the field?
Yeah, I trained with Greg Dulcich and Jelani Woods, tight ends. They were awesome. I'm so competitive that when I watch other tight ends on film, and I want to find a reason, I don't like that guy because of that. But then I get to know them, and they're just good guys. It's hard for me to find anything not to like about. But no, I trained out with one of my buddies too. Iowa State guy Jake Hummel, who plays linebacker. He had an amazing pro day. I think he's a sneaky pick that's going to help someone out, whether he gets drafted or free agency. He's a hell of a player. But no, I mean, most of the guys, just working out with out in Cali, just down to earth, good dudes, working out hard. Some guys I worked out with, Greg, Jelani, Jack Sanborn was out there, Jake Hummel's out there, a couple other tight ends, like Tonjis, Eric Cromano, a lot of guys out there I really enjoy spending time with.
As everybody knows, we are talking to NFL prospect, Iowa State tight end, Trae Kolar. Now, Charlie, I'm reading a little information over here about you. Both your parents are professors at the University of Oklahoma, and high school teammate of Trae Young. Were you a high school teammate of Trae Young?
Yeah, I was.
So what are your thoughts to Trae Young right now in the playoffs?
I mean, they'll be all right. He'll bounce back. They're a really good team. Miami played good defense the first two games. I never bet against Trae though. Everyone wants to count him out. He always manages to respond. I mean, I don't think anyone was picking them in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. He willed that team there, and he has some incredible teammates. But he's obviously the catalyst. I'm rooting for him. That city has really embraced that team, and they have a really great home environment. Go to a game when we get some more free time. Every time I think he's here, he just takes another level. It's incredible.
Does he ever call you? Does he ever reach out to you? Do you speak to him?
We talk. He came and watched one of the games this year in the fall. He meant a lot to me. He came out to Iowa State to watch us play Iowa, which was a shitty game. But he's a good dude. We still stay in contact. I mean, he's got a little more money than me, so he can fly around. So hopefully,
not for long.
Hopefully, when I have some money, I can go see him play.
Not for long, my friends.
So you were Errol was mentioning that you had parents that are working at Oklahoma as professors, and just you growing up in general in Norman, Oklahoma. Did you root for the Sooners? And also, how did it feel now you playing at Iowa State for all those years? You guys beat them twice. How did it feel beating them in the Big 12?
Yeah, so my dad works for my mom works for a different university. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I grew up in Norman. I like football. I was a big Sooners fan. I grew up, watching Rhett Bomar and Sam Bradford and DeMarco Murray. And, it's weird, once you get older, like, everyone was asking, once you're playing the game, like, obviously it's fun to go to Norman and, like, see the places. Like I'm in my house right now, and I live, like, 2, 3, 5 minutes away from the stadium. So, like, it's right there. But, once you get in the game, like, it's just a game. Like, you lose track of where you are just playing. Beat them twice. Should have beat them like freaking 4 times. I mean, shit, every time, end of the game, we're barely. It's always just fun to play and beat your hometown team, and always just fun to compete.
So what should the fans know about you and your talents going into the NFL draft? What is your strength? I'm reading what your strengths and your weaknesses are, but you know what your strengths and weaknesses are. And what could a team look at you right now and say, how do you sell yourself to a team and why they should draft you? That's a better question.
First of all, I'm a great guy I drink a beer with. That's an important thing. That's an important quality I look for.
Are you underage? You're saying this? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know you're overage.
But I'm from Iowa. I mean, are you shitting me? Come on. It's like it was snowing on Easter, so people you drink. That's what you did. But no, I think in all seriousness, I think I run really good routes. I was really happy to be able to have opportunity to perform on pro day because I think I do a really good job of controlling my tempo and deceiving stuff in the route game. But then I always get asked "Oh, are you slow? Can you run?" And I'm like, I'll just wait and shut up and show you that I can run on my pro day because I think that's the strength of mine is my athleticism. Sometimes it always doesn't show up on film because I'm not just sprinting off the ball. I'm controlling my speed into my break point and then accelerating and stuff. So I think I'm a really big, strong, fast athlete. I think I run great routes. I think my blocking is good. It's going to just keep getting better. I didn't block a ton in line in college. And I think I'm really good in space, especially blocking in space. I played receiver for a while. I think I do a good job of blocking for red line blocks, for screens and bubbles and stuff. And I just think I can contribute early on, and just want to look forward to the opportunity.
So both at your position and just at any position in general, who are some of your NFL influences, the football players that you idolized and looked up to growing up?
Yeah, I mean, we love, my coach and I always would watch NFL tight ends. He would make this cut up of explosive NFL tight end catches for the week, and we'd watch it during the season. When we install routes, we go back in the archives. We install routes with Antonio Gates and Jason Witten. That's how we install our middle search routes and stuff. So I love watching those guys. Current guys, obviously, I love watching Kelsey, his stem and his ability to create separation, how he deceives where he's going, and he's so fluid is amazing. And then just try to copy what guys do best. Darren Waller is so good at the way he controls his body downfield, and I wish I was keep getting better at that. Zach Ertz is so good at his routes, and my coaches from the Colts, we watched a lot of Jack Doyle and those guys. So just mixing it up. I'm not them, and so I'm not going to try to be someone I'm not, but just try to learn from the best. I think is the best way to become a good tight end.